Welcome to Nugget 271 with Steve and Dana Groman. I am back to one of my favorite books, The Guide to National Parks of the Southwest, and as I have mentioned, we have been to most of them. There is a lesser-known park, and it's called Cedar Breaks. As a matter of fact, two of my girlfriends were vacationing in the Southwest this summer, and they both texted and said, "This is what we're doing, do you have any ideas?" And I tried to get both of them to go to Cedar Breaks, and neither one of them listened. They were stuck on going to Zion, which I understand. If you haven't ever been there, it is definitely a place to go just so you could check it off your bucket list. But Cedar Breaks is almost around the corner, and after you see these pictures, you'll know why I try and encourage everyone to go there. It is positioned between Zion and Bryce, two amazing parks, and this park is definitely worth a couple of hours. The season at Cedar Breaks is brief but glorious. This small national monument in southern Utah is open only in summer and early fall. In winter, deep snow cloaks the 10,000-foot summits of the park. Even in the summer, at these elevations, the air carries a chill, but the rainbow-hued rocks and delightful meadows and forest invite leisurely exploration. The breathtaking breaks, as they're called, are the precipitous, intricately carved slopes of a natural amphitheater, 3 miles wide and 2,500 feet deep. The fins and spires and totems come in shades of white, russet, salmon, pink, and gray. Geologists know this as the Claron Formation, the same sedimentary rock of nearby Bryce Canyon National Park, only here standing almost 2,000 feet higher in elevation. That's interesting, isn't it? It's 2,000 feet elevation higher and looks exactly the same. Because some sediments are softer and others are harder, weathering and erosion occur at different rates, creating the fantastic shapes of the spires. The palette of colors changing subtly through the day and igniting at sunset is due to varying amounts of minerals. Reds and orange arise from iron content. Limonite yields yellowish colors, and manganese oxides impart purples and blues. The muds, silts, and limes of the Claron Formation were deposited in a freshwater lake some 50 to 60 million years ago, and millions of years later were raised along the faulted edge of the soaring Markagant Plateau. I tend to disagree strongly with their time frames, of course. We know that this is not true, but this beautiful amphitheater is a result of Noah's flood, and we have no problem with there being a 2,000 difference in elevation between Bryce, which is an incredible place to go, and Cedar Breaks. Cedar Breaks sits on the extreme western brink of the Markagant, a Paiute word which means highland of trees. Those trees constitute the park's other great charm, an evergreen forest of Engelmann spruce and subalpine fir. Ancient, twisted bristlecone pines cling to windy ridgetops. One on Spectra Point is 1,600 years old, and that is going to be the target of Nugget 272. We will be talking about the ancient bristlecone pines of Cedar Breaks and another nearby location in the Dixie National Forest. And they go on and talk about the flora and fauna of this wonderful park. The park map says, "Nothing is subtle about the great natural rock amphitheater of Cedar Breaks and its gigantic spectacle of extraordinary forms wrapped in bold, brilliant colors. Cedar Breaks is without a doubt one of the most beautiful areas of southern Utah." I totally agree. The vast expanse and colorful rock formations are truly unforgettable. The Cedar Breaks Amphitheater is a result of many of the same forces that created other great southwestern landscapes, including the Grand Canyon, Zion Canyon, and the Bryce Amphitheater. It is, however, unique in its own right as an amazing product of geologic forces. I agree, they are created from the same force, Noah's flood, and the aftermath of the flood. Shaped like a huge coliseum, the amphitheater is over 2,000 feet and over 3 miles in diameter. Millions of years of deposition, uplift, and erosion carved this huge bowl in the steep west-facing side of the 10,000-foot-high Markagant Plateau. Doesn't that seem ridiculous? How can it take million years of deposits when it all looks the same and is all in a beautiful fashion? It's obvious the dirt was laid out at the time of the flood, and as the washout occurred, this beautiful amphitheater is what remained. Stone spires standing like statues in a gallery alongside columns, arches, and canyons. These intricate formations are the result of persistent erosion by rain, ice, and wind. Well, not over millions of years, but over a very short period of time, yes. Saturating the rock is a color scheme as striking as any on the Colorado Plateau. President Franklin Roosevelt established Cedar Breaks National Monument in 1933, calling nationwide attention to its spectacular amphitheater. There are 4 basic stops at Cedar Breaks. One is at the main visitor center to see Point Supreme Overlook, Spectra Point, where the bristlecone pines are, and the Ramparts Overlook. We did Point Supreme and Spectra Point, but because of time, we did not go out to the Ramparts Overlook. We did, of course, stop at Sunset View Overlook, at Chessman Ridge Overlook. All the services, including the 1937 Visitor Center, were closed the day we visited in late October. 4 overlooks are accessed from the 5-mile Cedar Break Scenic Byway, State Route 148, which transitions into a groomed trail for wintertime aficionados sporting skis or snowshoes or riding snowmobiles. That's kind of neat, isn't it? The highway is closed and becomes a winter wonderland. Each of the overlooks give a different perspective from often exposed vantage points. The day of our visit, fresh snow was sprinkled like powdered sugar across the bright orange formations of the amphitheater, like a jillion gigantic dreamsicles. We hiked the wet woodland terrace, frequently snow-covered circular 2-mile alpine pond trail to enjoy the subalpine meadows, spruce and fir forest, and clear water alpine lake. The warm yurt was placed at this trailhead parking lot and is the wintertime visitor center. In the next nugget, we will take you to Spectre Point and the ancient bristlecones, and another stop to see bristlecones in the Dixie National Forest. If you appreciate our content, tell others and repost on your social platforms. Thank you.